Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tips and Bricks podcast, where we discuss all things Lego. My name is Evan, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm one of the hosts of our podcast. Today, I am joined by all of my fellow co-hosts for a very special episode, but I'm going to start with you, Alex. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yes, enjoying the weekend. Got some Lego building done as well. I'm excited to talk about the smart brick.
Oh, yeah? What'd you build?
Been designing some mocks for UK convention coming up at the end of February.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's all I'll say for now.
Wait, plug the convention, though.
Bricktastic in Manchester.
Nice, 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 nice. And Bethany, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I am in the midst of planning my big, giant 2026 build, and I am trying to figure out right now architecture for it. That's not my biggest strength. So I am studying architecture things because I got to figure out arches and stuff. So help.
Amazing.
There's this great blog called Tips and Bricks that I highly recommend. It's some excellent mock tips.
Nice. Well, Clay, we just heard you. How are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm good. No Lego this weekend yet, but that's because the college semester starts tomorrow. So I'm like getting all my stuff uploaded and ready and blah blah blah. But if I get through everything that I want to get uploaded and done today, I plan to reward myself by building the new Friends Unicorn Dream Cafe. So that when like I really wanted to build it yesterday, was like, you know what? I got to get everything ready for the semester before
Good
I
for
touch
you.
it. So I'm hopeful that I will get to it tonight or tomorrow evening, I guess at worst.
It's the best to reward yourself with Lego.
Right.
It's the best.
It's way more responsible than me, Clay. Like I've been mocking on Studio, but I should. My to-do list is so long. But I was like, you know what? I really want to finish my build, and the convention's only a month away. So I really.
That's what I was
going
gonna say though. Like your convention is close enough where you really probably should
Need
be
to.
doing the mocking. Yeah.
I guess. Thanks, Clay. That makes me feel better.
Well, like I said earlier, this is a special day. We're getting together for an emergency podcast episode. You hear that call?
You hear that sound?
Yeah, there was some
Yeah,
feedback.
oh my God. It was like, as I said emergency, my friend decides to call me and I'm hanging up. Okay, so sorry, friend. You'll hear from me after we talk about this. So, because this is an emergency, guys, like I said, we need to have a conversation about the game changer in the Lego system, the future of Lego play, Lego's biggest innovation since the minifigure. This is the new Lego Smart Brick that is releasing this March in a select 6 countries until further notice. How do we feel?
We got thoughts, people. We got thoughts.
Well, before we dive too deep into it, let's just like lay out the facts. Bethany, can you just tell us the basics on the new
Yes.
Smart Brick?
Okay, so the whole system is called Smart Play. So bear in mind, it's not all about the smart brick. It's smart play. But the smart brick, which is what everyone's talking about, it is a 2x4 brick that includes internal sensors that can produce lights and sounds, but it's not just a light and sound brick. Like this is a big step up from previous light bricks or sound bricks. It is able to interact with other smart elements. Now, the responses are not pre-recorded, so it's not like playing a loop of pre-recorded music. It's reacting in real time. There's a little teeny tiny synthesizer in there making the little sounds. Smart bricks have locational awareness, so you can twist it and the brick knows what you're doing. It can tell where it is in relation to other smart bricks and smart tags, and it also reacts to movement and gestures via an internal accelerometer. Now, the smart brick, kind of fancy words, the smart brick, like I mentioned, is the size of a 2x4 brick, or so Lego says. We're going to get into this later about our thoughts if we actually think it's a 2x4 brick. And stay tuned. Let me keep giving background.
It's a conspiracy, guys.
We can't get derailed.
Yep, staying on track. The smart brick interacts with smart minifigures and smart tags, aka 2x2 tiles. Now, these are different from the Mario 2x2 tiles. Mario 2x2 tiles are just regular tiles with a sticker essentially glued on. These actually have a magnetic coil inside that can do smart things. So the smart figures and tags do not produce any sounds or lights themselves. That all comes from the smart brick. The 3 sets that include the smart brick are only releasing in 6 countries. One, two, three, four, five, six. That's it. On March 1st, the United States, the UK, Poland, Germany, France, and Australia. And they are only available for pre-order in these countries as well. Future releases in other countries are not confirmed and are to be determined.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
that
But
was a
you
whole lot.
explained it beautifully. So, you mentioned sets. So we can have like a full view of the situation, Clay. Can you just tell us very quickly about what 3 sets the Smart Brick will be releasing in?
Yes, I don't know if we mentioned it up top, but Star Wars is the theme that will have the Smart Plate in it. So there's only 3 Star Wars sets that are available for pre-order for March 1st. The smallest one is Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which retails for $70 US, has a whopping 473 pieces in that, and it has 1 Smart Brick, 1 Smart Figure, which is Darth Vader. It does have a Rebel Troop minifigure who's not smart. And then it also comes with the smart charger and just one smart tile in this one. Has pretty hideous version of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, and then there's a little like scenery refueling stations, I guess we'll say. We also have Luke's Red 5 X-Wing, which is a little bit pricier. That one's $90 US for 584 pieces. This one also comes with 1 Smart Brick, but it has 2 Smart Figures, both Luke and Leia, and has 5 Smart Tags. So this one has quite a bit more Smart Tags, which we'll talk about. There's like a really chunky kind of 4+ style X-Wing with it, and then there's like some of the little. There's like a turret with a stormtrooper. Leia has like her little Yavin 4 scene, some side builds. And then the biggest one is Evan's favorite, a throne room duel, an A-wing. And this one retails at almost 160 USD, 972 pieces. This is the only set that's coming with 2 Smart Bricks, which we'll talk kind of about why it has it in this dual one. And it also comes with 3 smart minifigures, which is Luke, the Emperor, and Vader, and 5 Smart Tags. And this one again, this one is a pretty cool looking set actually. Like it has the throne room with the Emperor and 2 royal guards in his throne, and then kind of down the steps is this rounded area with how do we describe it? Like axles. It almost reminds me of the old Lego soccer system where the
Mm,
minifigs can sit on
yes.
something, you kind of like swing them. And then it also
Or the
has, of
old
course, a
Duel on
brick building
Mustafar
wing.
set.
Oh,
The Duel on Mustafar set that
Oh
they
yeah, yeah,
showed,
exactly. Like they do on. Mhm.
2000, what, 6? That
that
was
was impressive knowledge. Way to pull that one out. It's
Mhm.
good.
I had
Evan's a
that as a
Star Wars
kid.
fan now, so
I
he
love
knows
that.
these
True.
things.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Clay. Thank you also, Bethany. So now we're going to get into this thing. Our Tips and Bricks team, we have been in flames of debate over the Smart Brick. And so we're here to give our thoughts on everything, the price, the functions, the revealed sets, how they look, the future possibilities, even the media dissemination of information around this release, which I think is one of the more interesting things to talk about that I
Hmm.
really haven't heard anyone else talk about that much. So I want to go to you first, Alex, because you were able to actually attend a live demo session of the Smart Brick last week. And so to kick things off, truly Tips and Bricks style, Alex, Smart Brick, what do you rate it 0 to 25?
Okay, I rate it a 10 out of 25, so not that strong. I have to say I'm still quite undecided, and that is
Mm,
having attended this live demo session. I'm undecided because I think it does have potential for both sets and mocks, but I just think the launch could have been a lot better for various reasons. Both the marketing, I think there's a lot of confusion around what it does. Even we were a bit confused about how to communicate that in our content that we produced. And then also the choice of launch sets. I am not sure Star Wars was the best one to go for. So I think that in combination, yeah, that leads me to my score of 10 out of 25.
Have you ever scored a set that low?
mm.
I'm just curious.
Oh,
I
good
know y'all haven't done the
question.
25 scale
Oh,
forever, but I didn't know if there's any off the
Well,
top of your head that,
oh, the only one that jumps to mind is, yeah, that 0 out of 100 one. We had
yeah,
the
that's what I
V2
was like,
confirmed that
yeah, I
had
don't
bendy
know if,
bricks.
I know we've done at least a 12, I recall, but I
I think
don't
we
know if
had a
there's anything.
9. I thought we had a 9 out of 25 at one point.
Was it a Brian doing a marble set? Because that sounds like it
I
could have been
think
9
it probably
out of
was actually.
25.
It could have
Wow,
been.
but 10 out of 25, that's a pretty strong statement. But I mean, you said kind of you said a lot of things, but one of the things you said is like what you're most interested in is the potential. So it
Mm.
almost sounds like
Yes.
what we think Smart Play could do isn't there yet, or maybe it's not being shown yet. Like, what would
It
we
was
want?
interesting because in the demo they showed lots of different smart tags that we've not seen in sets yet, and they
Mhm.
made it very clear that these aren't available yet. But I would assume if they've made the smart tags, they're going to be coming in some future sets, right? But they were all different ones. There was like, like a birthday cake themed one. There was a police car. There were like ones for ducks. So if I was launching it, and I don't have all the answers, who knows, but I would have done like a creator bricks pack. You know, those loose bricks you get, everyone loved the translucent
Mhm.
parts we got like last year. Just give us a massive creator pack with lots of those random smart tags, like 20 different smart tags with all different things, helicopters, boats, animals, all that kind. Let kids actually have the creativity and then just bring those models to life with the smart tags. I think Star Wars is too limited, and for the audience
Mhm.
they're going for with a younger kid range, Star Wars is a bit too mature. So I think it just would have been a lot of a cleaner release if they'd focused on that element. In the demo, we got both Star Wars and like these other stuff like the ducks, the birthday cake, police car. And I think if they just focused on like this is Lego, we're not going to focus on an IP. I think it would have been a lot clearer and
Mm.
shown the kind of benefits and the potential.
Well, what's interesting is I read that Lego was going to release, they made some announcement. Maybe it was to us, maybe it was to someone at some point. Again, this information dissemination has been all over the place. But at some point, some representative from Lego said that it was originally going to be in a creator or city, no, city originally, but then they switched at some point over to Star Wars because they felt like the more recognizable IP was a good launching pad for kids to like kickstart their creativity instead of starting from scratch. But it almost shows that like Lego doesn't think that kids can be creative anymore, right?
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sit that well with me. I almost feel like Disney maybe pulled its status and was like, we want to be
Mm.
first in on this new technology, right?
Hmm.
Um,
What about you, Bethany? I feel like you've been one of the people who's maybe been more
Yeah. Well, let me.
rational in response, more positive. I don't know what
Yeah.
the right
Yeah.
word is.
Let me go backwards and just read. So what Evan was saying. Can I read what the actual quote is from the website?
Please.
We had a lot of internal debate about how we were going to launch the Lego Smart Play experience. One reason was that kids often, so this is to answer why Star Wars. One reason was that kids often don't need an introduction to Star Wars. It's second nature to so many, meaning that as they dive into the limitless possibilities of the Lego Smart Play platform, they don't have to give a second thought to the galaxy they are playing in. We found that giving kids a starting point was a more effective way for them to get used to the Smart Play platform than a blank canvas. The characters they cared about helped fire up their imaginations. They knew how to use the starships in battle and got super excited when they heard the TIE fighter make that, in quotes, noise.
Interesting.
That noise in quotes.
That was in quotes, noise. Um, I want to break that down further in a minute because there's a few things in there I'm like, but okay. The way that the marketing has rolled out made me hate the smart brick before I saw it. The more you tell me that something is going to revolutionize something and I've never seen something like this before and it'll be the best thing ever, the more I back away and I'm like, okay, this like I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker. You can keep this. This is fine. So, two things changed my mind. Number one was the recognition that the brick is not limited to the theme I buy it for. So this is not like I have bought the sound wave or the Harry Potter sorting hat or was it the radio? There's like three that have had sound bricks that can only make those sounds and only those sets. Like it does not make sense to take the sound wave set and put it in a school bus. And so realizing that I did not have to keep buying expensive customizable parts. I was like, okay, intriguing. But what changed my mind more than anything else was I made sure to keep all of my negative thoughts to myself and not say them out loud. And I played some of the videos and demos for my kids to get their opinion and seeing their faces just light up. And they were like, we can't wait to do this. This is so cool. And then I was like, okay, I'm not the target demographic. I can see the vision here. My students all week in class have been going, Miss Bethany, do you know about this electronic brick? It's so cool. Like somehow these kids have heard about it and are excited. So that helped make me be excited. I have some issues with the presentation, the information, how it's been laid out, the fact that we really don't have a lot of answers right now. But that is my long-winded thing to say. My score is 17 out of 25 for the potential based on what they've shown us right now, right? With it's just in 3 sets, it's as it is. If it just stays where it's at, I'm giving it a 9 out of 25.
Ooh.
Can
Based, based
even lower than
on
me.
if it stays where it is, 9 out of 25.
Mhm. For some of the reactions that you're talking about of those kind of the age group who is more the target audience.
Yes.
Do you know, kind of to Alex's point, like if some of the excitement was around stuff like we've seen, like, oh, the duck races or like getting closer, or was it more the Star Wars stuff? Do
So
you know?
excellent question. They were all like, I can't wait to make my own sounds. It's like,
Yeah.
well, and the others were very excited. One student in particular was very excited. He is all into airplanes, and he wanted to have airport sounds and takeoff and all of this stuff. He probably would enjoy the refueling sounds, Clay. Someone who wants it. But all of them have all said, oh, too bad it's so expensive. So
this is where I'm like curious because
and this is why it's 9 out of 25 for me. So I'll pin that thought. We'll come back to it. Keep going out, Evan.
I like that we're framing this as like something that is made for children because you can really tell in the way that they are marketing this that it really is something that is designed for kids. And we'll talk later about the mock potential of this also. But whenever with like Lego or any toy product in general, when it's like it is for the kids, yes, but at the end of the day, a child is not taking out their credit card and buying this. That has to be the parent. An adult has
Yep.
to see the value in something before a kid actually gets it. And so you're not just selling to kids. You do have to sell at the very least to a parent. And so do we think that parents will be acceptable and amenable to these higher prices?
So that is why I'm giving it a 9 out of 25 right now as it stands, because it is not at a price point for most parents that I know that is acceptable. This is not, these are not impulse prices things, like not when 5 items at the grocery store are already equaling the same price. Like I'm not going to just pull it off the shelf. This is Christmas and birthday level of expenses in our home. And I feel like if it is locked behind these high prices, some kids are going to get excited and have it, but most are going to be like, no, 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 that's too expensive. And they're never going to get a chance to experience the potential of Smart Play.
100%. And like when I was watching the Smart Play demos, there were 2 videos that like got me pretty excited over it. One of them was, I think Beyond the Brick showed like they were doing like a space battle shooting
Yes.
between smart bricks. And another one was like the duck curling, which is hilarious, where they basically just like a shuffleboard type thing where you like it's curling, but they use like I think 4 or 5 smart bricks. I think it was 5 smart bricks because it was one and then 4 others for like the things you're moving. And if you're just equating the cost to actually really use the smart brick to its full potential, you need at least 2 of them, if not more. And that is currently a minimum, I guess, if you're going to buy 2 of the cheapest
Yeah, if you got 2 Darth Vaders, you get it like around 140.
$140 set, which is really expensive for the full potential of this thing. And not even really the full potential, because, I mean, for example, we have a couple sets, I don't think we mentioned this, that are coming out as well that were kind of revealed, I believe. Like, we saw like part of the Cantina set that there are other sets that are releasing that have smart brick compatibility, but they don't actually come with the smart brick. And so, in order to use those to their full potential, you also need to buy one of these starter sets, kind of like the Mario line. But with this, you have scenarios where, for example, the Cantina, where you have, I believe, like do you have like a smart Han Solo or a smart Greedo or something like that?
It hasn't been revealed officially, but I would guess Han for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if let's talk about the ones we already know. Like for example, the one that's just coming with Darth Vader, for instance, smart Darth Vader. And if you really want to use him and interact with like any other figure, you need another set to do so. So you have to buy for most of these things at least two sets to actually really enjoy it, if not the $160 set.
If you want to do the dog fight like they demoed in the Beyond the Brick thing, one, you have to be part of those one of 6 countries, but two, you're looking at spending $160 to have that awesome dog fight. And that's a lot. Like, thankfully, it's
Wouldn't
not.
it even be more than that? Because it was
Well,
an A-Wing versus another craft, wasn't it?
right?
Because
Wasn't
it would be
this?
the $160 set
Yeah, it was
plus
two
Vader's TIE
sets.
Fighter set.
Oh, okay.
It's the
In
TIE
my
Fighter versus the X-Wing.
so
So
I
it's
picked the two
almost
wrong.
200 plus. And I mean,
Oh.
you made a good point, Bethany, just like about affordability in general. But even if we're talking about like a luxury product, like if a kid is looking at the shelf, it's like, do I want this $160 set that has this much with it? Or like, would I rather get the Onyx Cinder and a
Yeah.
battle pack and a
hmm
$10 unicorn for the
So
same
So
price?
I want to compare this. I have a note here. Again, the reason why my score is 9 out of 25 as it stands now is because when you look at how Mario was rolled out, they did it with budget in mind. It
Mhm.
was $50, which at least in the US is like nice money, but not like the most odious thing ever. It's not 100, 150. Like 50 is like, okay, that's less than a Nintendo game. Like it's okay. Shows its high value, but it's not unobtainable entirely. Um, and that quickly got marked down everywhere to 35. Like you could find them for a lot cheaper, but they had the $50 pack, and then you could get for $5.99 CMFs that all had them in there. They ran the CMS for 3 years. They are three round, 5 round, whatever. They had $9 sets. Like you could take that $150 investment
I
and
think it was 60. I think
was
it
it
was
60? Okay,
I think
I'm
it was
sorry.
60. But
We
yeah,
may
just
have used we may have used a
but still.
coupon from the grocery store on that one. Um, but still, you made one investment and then you were able to immediately launch into optional play because the sets were smaller. So I could be like, yeah, I can justify throwing this $9 set in my cart. Yeah, this $15 one, we can throw that in there. Like, and so you could continue to keep the play alive in new iterations. You weren't dropping so much money at once. Now, I get that they want to make sure that the sets that have smart tags have smart bricks in them and have the charging equipment, which we have to talk about the
I've
charging
talked about the
equipment
charge.
later. We'll talk about that later. I know we keep saying we'll talk about things later. We do have a list
Yeah. Yeah.
of
There's so many
topics,
things.
I promise. But I know that you have to fit that all in there. I personally, if I was the one launching this, I would have this little smart play bundle where you could buy the brick, the charger, the cable, all the stuff that you need. And then if you want to experience the joy of it, go get these sets that have the special tags. That's how I would have done it.
Yeah, exactly what Alex said. Basically, do a creator starter pack where you have like 10 smart tags of like duck, airplane, refueling. Of course, you need the refueling.
Refueling, gotta have it.
And then
Every
a bunch
kid's
of this
dream.
like you can even have instructions to like make a basic airplane or make
Mhm.
like a basic duck, you know, and just like show like, oh, these are the possible things you can play with and include two smart bricks. I would
Mhm.
say at least two smart bricks because you really need two of them to
Mhm.
really experience
See,
what they do. You think or
I
no?
like Bethany's idea though that if I was understanding you correctly, Bethany, that like you just have a set that is just the smart brick
Hmm.
and a recharger and
Mhm.
maybe some smart tags in there, right? But that is like an add-on to any sets. And then these three Star Wars sets we're discussing don't have any smart bricks in at all. So the price
Mhm.
comes way down. And yes, you do need to buy, but because that's one thing with the sets that are the further Star Wars sets that are rumored, right? Like the Cantina, it's not going to include the smart brick. But like we said, you have to have one of these three sets. It'd be so much better if you could pay 10, 15, maybe 20, who knows, for
Well,
just the smart brick, charger, smart tags.
mhm.
How
I
much do
just
you
don't
think it
know.
would be?
Feel like it
It's
would have made more
interesting, yeah.
sense
How much do we
because
think it would cost though? Like if it was just
oh,
that.
just the smart.
Mhm.
There's one
Mm.
smart tag, one smart brick, one smart figure, and a charger in the $60 set. And then it has about 400 parts. So I
Mhm.
would say, because they're going to have parts in it, you know they're going to have a Lego part in a Lego set. I would say probably a minimum of 40.
I was
Really? Oh,
oh yeah, for sure. Have
yeah.
you looked
With
at how
just a
it's
smart brick?
Oh,
Smart
yes.
break
Yeah.
charger, at least,
Yes.
a
I was
couple
going to say
tags.
20 because I think with if you take
Mm.
the tie, take 20 off, could be a $40 set.
But if you
I
Mm.
think
don't know.
$70, and that's Lego Star Wars, 473 pieces was always going to be like at least $50. So
Mhm.
honestly, 20 might be more in the realm of reasonable there.
I think they could do it. They would sell. So looking at the cost of all other Lego motors and Lego hubs and etc., those are not cheap by any stretch. I would probably put this. They would like. I would think two smart bricks and the charger and some tags. I could see them selling that for 40 very easily. But also, as a parent, I don't have a problem investing $40 for that because then I can get the cheap sets as I want
If
and they
they
come
have those
alive
smart tags in
if
them,
they
yeah.
have the
Or
smart tags.
use your own bricks to then create your own storytelling if you don't want the Star
Hmm.
Wars ones, if you just
Correct.
want the smart.
And I have no problem that these launched first in Star Wars. You have to start somewhere. The ability to duel, like kids get that. It's great. I just don't think that the method of which to obtain this one thing that's critical for the whole picture, right? Like you have to have this one thing so everything else can work. Keep it separate like they do with the Mario sets. And that
Mhm.
way, and you can also buy the other sets, that Mario sets, and use them without Mario, and they're fine and fun sets. Like you're not sitting there going, "Oh, well, now I can't play because
Well, these you can also. I mean, you could
yeah.
still
Yeah.
push around a TIE fighter without
I
the
mean,
sword.
but
Yeah, yeah.
let's be honest. Like, compare it to other Star Wars that's on the market. These look low-key
All right,
terrible.
let's talk about how they look.
Um,
Let's talk about
like
how they look.
it's
Oh,
like
see,
Right,
I
full
have
whoa, whoa,
plus
I
whoa.
style.
yeah.
What
I
else you
think we
gotta
all have a lot of thoughts here. I've just looked at the images on Bricklink. Sorry, Brickset. I think from the front, they don't look that bad. I actually think some of them do look quite polished. They're using some newer parts, like some newer slips for the X-Wing. Sorry, not X-Wing, the A-Wing. The X-Wing cockpit, I don't really know what happened there. Well, but then they've got this massive gap in the middle of the X-Wing and at the back of the A-Wing and tie for the smart brick. And I think the reason they didn't cover that up is so that it does let the lights out and you can easily see it, you can easily interact with it.
Hmm.
I feel like they maybe should have included a cover or something, but I mean, kids don't really care, do they?
Can the
No.
smart brick work through a cover?
I was going to ask the
This
same
is
thing.
not something they've answered.
And
I
that also limits the mock potential too.
Oh, like
Can
how
you hide
embedded
the
it
smart brick
is.
Yeah.
embedded in something and will it still
So
work?
I'm going to give a hot take that's going to generate a lot of hate. I think that they did the sets well for their purpose. So they've done them for young kids, but they have intentionally made them uh, extraordinarily sturdy. So I sat in on an interview that they did where they were giving us all the RLFMs, were giving them demos, and they said they sacrificed display for sturdiness. And they said what they found was as kids are going, they're taking their thing going, making the sounds, and then, well, their mouths aren't making the sounds, but
They usually are though.
yes,
They
usually
usually
the
are.
mouths are making the sounds, the brick is making the sound, but they're doing it, and they found that something would fall off and they would stop and they would immediately be like, trying to hold it. And that's what I've seen my students do when they go to hold up their builds.
Mhm.
They're telling me about their build, and as soon as something falls off, they do not have the ability to just go, oops, oh well. They have to stop and they have to fix it. And I think that that's really smart that they went for super sturdy for these things, and they aged them appropriately, 6+. These are not meant for us collectors of nice things.
I'm so curious. I literally just finished the V19 torrent, like as we were like starting this call, and I'm just like gonna swoosh it as we talk for the next like 5 minutes if anything falls
Will you
off.
make sounds with your mouth while you do it, please?
Yeah.
Like refueling sounds.
Yes.
Actually, there's no good place to hold it. So actually, that is
Evan, you need to put the wing down
oh
at
the
the
thing
back.
down. Yeah, actually, that makes it a
Yeah.
little better to hold it for. Sorry, my bad.
What kind of Star Wars fan is he?
Yeah. So like
Come
you're doing great right there with doing that, but that's not how kids play. Kids are
Sure.
going there and it broke. Kids are going to jump up and they're going to be running. They're going to be jumping. They're going to be moving. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Jump on the spot, Evan. I want you to
Yeah.
throw it at a wall and see what happens. Yeah.
Oh dear. So yes, do they look great? No, but I think that they are brilliant for what they need to accomplish. My concern, I watched all the demo videos I could find. I could not see if a brick could react through a person.
Through a person?
Okay, through a person. At no
Like
point
if
did
a
I
kid swallows one?
No, you know what?
That
a
reaction was
question.
so good, Bethany.
All the medical tests I've had and just see like the brick light up.
That really is a smart brick.
Refueling.
Yeah. No, what I meant was if I'm playing and I turn around and my body is in between you, does it disconnect? Can you put a thing on top of it? Like I've watched these demos intentionally to be like, did they put anything between the smart brick and the like that's what I need to know. I need to know
it uses
the range.
Bluetooth technology, and just from our
Yes.
basic understanding of using Bluetooth through the last like however many years, it should be able to work through most.
It
like,
should.
It should.
It should.
I would say it does. I would
It
argue that it
should.
does. But like,
I
if
would
you
agree with Evan. Yeah.
cover it with
I would
the-
hope. Yeah.
if it's fully enclosed around and embedded in a mock, that's where I really want to know if it still works.
Like if we ever get our hands on the brick, one of the first things I want to do is see how many layers of bricks it can work through.
I want to see how many bricks tall this thing is.
Oh,
Is it truly the size of a 2x4 brick or not?
Shall we transition to this topic?
Yeah, so the smart brick has been announced on like Lego's page many, many times. They have said it is the size of a 2x4 brick. And in all of the demos that we've seen, you can very clearly see just like looking at it next to what brick sits around and what builds they implemented in, that it is 5 plates tall.
And Evan, just for the sake of consistency, how tall is a normal brick?
A normal brick is 3 plates tall. So it looks like it is in fact 2x4 dimensions. So when they say it's the size of a 2x4 brick, they're not fully lying. But to me, a 2x4 brick is, we all know what it is. Like, let's be real. Don't
It's a
think we're
brick.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's a normal Lego brick. Is the Lego brick that when you go to the Lego house and they're like, oh, do you want the collection of 6 like 2x4 Lego bricks? It's like the 6 red 2x4 by 3 plates high Lego bricks. And so this one is definitely taller, unless is it just the demo version?
So that's my question for Alex. Did they say anything? Because all the bricks in the demo all have, scarred onto the side, demo. And all the pictures we see all say demo. Did they say anything about the size? Like, did they give you extra batteries because this was a demo and they needed for the tech, CES needed to be able to run them lots? What'd you find out?
So they didn't say anything about that. It's a good spot that we all spotted afterwards. I don't think, there's a chance they had extra batteries, but I think they're probably just the regular smart bricks and they just whacked them on because they don't want anyone to steal one. I don't know. But like I'm looking at the pictures on Brickset. They look the exact same in the press images. So I do think it's a regular smart brick and it is just 5 plates tall.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not too mad about them calling it a 2x4 because
it is a 2x4.
with the whole marketing communications,
Ugh.
it's already been confusing enough. If they start saying, well, it's 2x4, but it's actually 5 bricks, 5 plates high, so it's 100% 2x4. Like, I think just simplicity is 2x4.
Yeah. Well, just how confusing it is that it lasts 45 minutes of continual, uninterrupted lights and sounds play. And like we put that in our post. So I wrote the smart brick, the second smart brick post. And when I wrote that, I was like, this is what the words are. This is what I'm saying. Will people get that means 20, solid, sound for that much time? And people did not. They're like, that's it. That's all the play you get. And it's like, well, no, like you stop and so how would you succinctly describe the play length? Like we're Lego's team.
I would start and be like, you could say and start it off with like 45 minutes of continuous play. When we tested it with kids, we found that they could use the smart brick for extended periods that involved like 3 hours of play.
Yeah.
Like put like a bigger time that like in practice we found that because the sounds don't go continuously. I don't know how you eloquently word that though.
I don't know either.
Does it,
Perfectly.
I don't want to say doesn't matter because obviously it matters, like how long you're gonna have to play before you charge. But I'm just imagining, like we keep saying, this isn't for us, this is for kids. Like when I was a kid, we were constantly encouraged to go play with Lego,
Hmm.
because it's quiet, you're doing it in your room. My mom would always be like, build your own stuff. Like she loved us to lean into
Hmm.
the creativity, and like that was the toy that was not like a learning toy necessarily, but it was like the toy you could kind of get away with and be pushed to play with.
Hmm.
I see zero parents who are going to be like, "Oh, go play with that loud lighting up toy for the next 45 minutes." Like that to me is almost like a parent's going to take it away after, 15, 20 minutes of
Hmm.
hearing refueling noises. So to me, the 45-minute like battery life isn't a big deal because I truly don't think that kids or parents are going to want to play with this for 45 minutes straight, if I'm being
Ouch,
honest.
but fair. Ouch, but fair.
Wow.
I will say I am very thankful that they did drop that you can control the parent can control the volume in an app, and I'm very
Hmm.
curious how far down you can slide it. So you don't have to hear the sounds. But also kids are super smart and they're going to figure out how to get to their parents' phones and turn that volume up extra loud. So,
But you
And
also
I've
just like know kids also, and I feel like if I was a kid and I'm not the most responsible child, like I'm going to be playing with this brick and then I'm not going to put it back on its charger before I stop. And so
mm,
in a lot of scenarios, maybe I play with it for only like 20, 25 minutes. But then if I only have like 15 minutes of play left
mhm,
and I pick back up, I might not know that. And then as soon as it dies, I'm like, oh. And then because you need the app to tell how charged it is, they advertise that it's like an app-free play, but then if you don't know how charged it is, like I could see a kid just like giving up on it entirely.
yeah. So I can't remember if it was in our video or our 1 hour call that we had, or if it was watching videos afterward. But I thought someone said that in the instructions, like as they're kind of teaching you how to do this, they're teaching you to take the brick, take it off, put it on the charger. Which I mean, like, okay,
Kids
at least
wouldn't
they're
do
showing
that.
that. My concern is how many bricks do you think fit on a charger? Yeah,
I mean,
just
it's a big pad, but
uh-huh. How many bricks do you think can charge on that big pad?
It's two.
Just two.
I guess two.
It's
So,
big enough for like six, so yeah, that is strange.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say it looks like I mean,
So,
obviously the whole pad isn't the charger, but like the slot where the bricks sit, look like it
what's
could fit
what's
two.
odd to me is say that my kids are given Christmas money by a relative and they go, "Let's buy, fill in the blank Star Wars set." Um, how many outlets are we going to need to have a row of smart chargers? Like we are already charging, laptops for school and like we've got charging stations.
That honestly isn't so much my issue because like with a lot of technology, you just need an outlet. My thing with this that I cannot believe we haven't brought up yet is that the smart brick sets do not come with a wall adapter.
Yeah.
Right now, the charger has a USB-C, I believe it's USB-C to
Yep.
USB-A.
A. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe USB-A to USB-C. Regardless, that has the cord that connects the charger, but it does not have the actual wall outlet adapter. And my
Mm-hmm.
assumption for
No.
this is that because they're going to be releasing it in multiple markets,
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
hard to put in a wall outlet that's not universal. But put in the outlet for depending on which country you release it in. You can't release a product that you then need to buy a separate adapter, which they are selling separately, to
Yeah.
use. Technically, the price of these sets actually isn't even really the full cost, unless I know a lot of people do have just like random adapters on hand, but I still do think that there are people out there that don't, you know?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you might have to make a decision between like, oh, like mommy's charging her phone. You can't charge your smart brick right now.
Yeah. Well, and one of the demos I watched, someone asked about this, and the Lego representative did say that they will make the wall chargers available on the website for sale.
That makes me more mad.
So,
But I mean, honestly, that doesn't like that doesn't really bother me because, like you said, Evan, it is going to be
Mhm.
in different markets. So to me, it would just end up probably being more expensive than to have to include these
Yeah.
wall outlets based on which market it will be. But I mean, it is kind of silly if you think about it. It's like everything's in here. It's like, well, kind of
Mhm.
everything.
Okay, so let's throw another question. What do you think is the potential for these? How do you see them being used as us AFOLs in a mock, like, because I think kids are going to love it. I think kids are going to be very excited. They're going to want to use it. They're going to lose stuff. Good news is they can contact Lego and get them replaced.
For
So they say.
free? I so doubt that. I
Yeah,
Well,
so
no, when
doubt that.
I asked someone who was pretty high up in senior, and she said, "Yeah, just like any other any other part, phone up or email customer service. They'll send one straight out to you." Whether that's in practice, I mean, obviously, if the same customer gets a lot, then it's going to look suspicious. And I have
Yeah.
heard of some AFOLs in my like local group have
Yeah.
been like banned because
too.
they've been ordering too many parts, So who
There
knows
you
how
can
that's
get
going to work? But
there's
I'm
I
positive.
know several people who've had their accounts locked because they've
Yeah.
requested too many missing parts. And I don't know where the line is, but theoretically they can get that. But what is the application for us as adults? Like,
Well, like I have thoughts, but first, Alex, I want to hear from you because you got to see demos that are not
mhm,
Star Wars.
mhm.
Like, I know you mentioned a police scenario, but like, was there anything you saw that you can already envision, like being in an A Falls collection or mocker?
Yeah, I think the demo was really good. It showed lots of different functions and really showed the smart brick, doing everything possible. I think my favorite one was probably the color sensor.
Mm,
So they had kind of a palette of red, yellow, blue, green, and as the smart brick scanned those, it either lit up in that color, or if you connected it to another smart brick, the other smart brick lit up in that color. So I can see that being really cool for kind of some interactivity. Say you're at a Lego event, you've got a display, like you can, I don't know, have someone walking past, someone, a member of the public, like I don't know, pick a color,
mm,
you scan it, and something in the mock lights up, right, in a color. I'm sure there are a bunch more applications that it could be. There was also a lot with like a motion sensor. So like as you move 2 bricks further away, like I think the color changes and it maybe made a different sound. So I do think there could be a lot of potential. I could imagine like a train zooming round, making sounds
mhm.
as it goes past different things, like an avalanche sound or a beeping sound. Maybe even something that triggers like a what's it called
The bing, bing,
Healing.
bing, 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 bing,
Oh,
bing.
dang.
the bing
Yep.
bing 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 thing. Yes, the gate to
Yeah.
stop people walking into a
It's,
train.
it's
That
good to
thing.
know
Yeah.
gate sounds are universal.
Again, we
So
made that sound with our mouth.
If only
so I
we had a
feel like
sound.
it could have some really good mocking potential. The only thing I would say is because they're not yet customizable or
Mhm,
programmable.
mhm,
Now, I think Lego do think people will hack them, but I think if they'd advertise it as via the app, you can maybe like record your own sounds, record your own
Mm,
interactions.
that's
Maybe
cool.
that will be future. Maybe, they will release some programming sets. I think that would be really cool. But at the moment, it's a little bit limited to like what smart tags you have.
Hmm.
But then again, we don't know how many smart tags they're going to include. One of our contributors, I think it was Evo, had the great idea that they could just throw smart tags in random sets, and hopefully
mhm.
they wouldn't be too expensive, and it would just mean that you can like unlock additional play functionality. I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So you mentioned the app and being able to make your own sounds. This leads me to something we did not address in our post, and I haven't seen anyone talk about the privacy thing. Can you tell us, Alex, a little bit about the privacy? Because when you wrote to me the note about that, like I got a little bit of a chill that I was like, they do what? So can you?
The alarm was going. You were like, "Hmm?"
I
What
was
are you
like,
talking
Slightly
about?
strange.
I have no idea what you're talking
So
about.
yeah,
yeah.
we didn't mean to include this in the post, but just so much to cover, so we didn't. So one of the questions I asked, I think a follower had submitted when we'd said I was going to go to this live demo, was they've mentioned like in the briefing and stuff, lots of considerations for privacy. So someone wanted to ask, well, why are you considering privacy so much? Like, what's the smart brick got to do with privacy? And the Lego representative answered, well, we're not going to be recording audio, but we will be recording like the play interaction. We're going to be collecting play data. because we
Yes.
want to improve the services, improve the brick. Now, I mean, I would maybe say I think that is fairly standard nowadays of products, that they collect a lot of data, but it doesn't seem to be sitting well with from everyone else's facial
I'm really
This
expressions.
has
What do you
shifted my
think?
whole perspective of this in like a different way.
Really?
Okay, so we were
Okay.
talking a bit on like within our team chat, and our contributor Rob, who's been on the podcast before, also was talking a lot about like, is this like really designed to make money through the sets, or is this more of like an investor opportunity? Now that you say that, I think Lego's going to be making money through the data of this because right now, like one of the biggest markets in the world is data, especially with AI just like blowing up completely. And if I think actually, the more I think about this, and this is total like conspiracy conjecture on my end. I don't know if anything I'm saying is actually true,
Foil
but I
hat.
feel like foil hat for sure. But a lot of the data that we have is on adults because we are able to like use the
Mhm.
technology that actually takes the information from us. And so I don't know how much information like Google or Apple or these big like Nvidia like has on children specifically. And so to be able to like record data from kids playing is tremendous information that Lego could potentially use not just for themselves, but also maybe even like sell to other toy companies.
So are we saying it's recording the data from like the kid like waving the smart brick,
Yeah.
or are we talking about using the app? The brick?
The brick.
It should be
So
collecting how long they're using it for, like how they're using it.
so it's not going to
Yeah.
be, as far as we're aware, it's not going to be recording the sounds the kids are making. It's what's going to record is how many times does it ping the smart tag in this way? How many times, is it twisted this way? Does it make this sound? Which is honestly, Lego is such a data-driven company. They play test everything. They make decisions based on market research. I mean, I get why they want that information so that future smart tags can, if they're like, oh shoot, we spent all this R&D on making refueling noises that no one's using. I think that I
I will
think
be using the refueling noises. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. But I think you are right, Evan, that like there will be a wealth of information. Now, they're not going to know who my kid is. They're not, because it's not going to be registered in their name. They're not going to like, I'm not worried about they're going to know my address. Like, I guess they
But this
maybe
is
have my IP
locational
address.
awareness, so maybe it could.
I mean, it has my IP address, I'm assuming from but
We've gone down a whole rabbit hole here, but I think
We
it's
have.
important to discuss because, yeah, like you said, Bethany, no one has really mentioned it. So,
I do think that one thing Lego has done very well with this iteration that I give them major applause are two things. One, there is no AI involved in this brick, meaning that kids are not making up generative commands to it, like some of the toys that are hit the market where they can have conversations or they can make like, I appreciate that they are in some ways using old school technology for play. But the second thing that I really appreciate is that a phone or a tablet is not needed, an app. That's huge because all of the robotics programs, you have to be connected to an app, whether it's on a computer, a tablet, or a phone. You cannot be without that for it to function. It's impossible. So I give the major props for being app free because of that.
Yeah, technically, like if you want to be able to see how charged it is, you do need an app, but that's like a very small thing. So for kids, especially, I think it's fair to advertise it as app free.
And again,
well, sorry, just one thing specifically, I would say it's best to say it's screen free or like screen free play because you also need the app to update the smart brick.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
When future sets release, you will, if you're using like an old smart brick, you'd need to update it.
Yeah. So that's why I've been trying to call it the parent app, because it's not to be used for kids. The parent app has those update capabilities.
So talking about updates, do we think that this is like Smart Brick 1? Like, do you think that they're gonna release in a couple of years like Smart Brick 2 that like has like an even like better possible capabilities? Maybe it is actually 2 by 4 by 3.
I mean,
Like,
I feel like they've designed it with the intention that the smart brick will be eternal, and then
Yes.
the technology would be more so in the tags,
Didn't,
which, I mean, that to me makes sense. And
yeah.
obviously, with
that'd be best
technology
case scenario.
shifting, there might be a smart brick 2.0, but I think the design here, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like this was in one of our posts too, was like the idea
Hmm.
was 10 years from now, the smart brick would still be usable in the sets that are releasing a
That's
decade.
great. That's really good then.
Yeah. So again, it's you just need that one magic brick, and then the tags bring out the possibilities.
Okay, so one thing that we have not addressed yet, which I think is like one of the biggest elephant of the room, besides the
Hmm.
price, is the 6 countries only
Hmm.
aspect of the release. And my thing about this is that it's not just the fact that it's 6 countries only. This also kind of ties into like I think how we're going to discuss in the end the actual dissemination of like how the information was spread to the community and just to everyone in general. We
Hmm.
didn't actually find out that it would be only 6 countries releasing it until a few days after the
When the
actual
pre-order is
release.
open.
It was only by accident when people were
Hmm.
like, "Holy crap! Why do I have this message?"
Exactly. Countries that originally were like had the pre-order like country I should rephrase countries that cannot purchase the smart brick originally on their website when they went to the smart brick page it had the pre-order countdown on the website but then as soon as the pre-orders were open it actually removed like that whole pre-order option and said that it was not available in their country.
Oh, being
That's so
troll
bad.
So
being trolled by a
sneaky.
countdown.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
Oh, I
what has
okay.
Lego's statement been? Like the reason behind the
Have we
six?
gotten an official
Yeah, yeah,
statement?
yeah. They
Okay.
have. So basically, they said that like this is like their like testing market. And I'm wondering, because it was announced days later, if this is because of the negative response, if they want to play it safe and just release it in these markets, or if this was the
No, I
all.
I felt like
I think with their planning like production facilities, this won't have been a last minute decision. I
Yeah.
just think they very intentionally only mentioned this after the big release, right? They were if they'd said Smart Play Pilot, whilst that would have been more accurate, it wouldn't have sounded as good. So I think they've
Mhm.
intentionally kind of hidden it, which doesn't really sit very well
And
with me.
honestly, the hyperbole of the language, like it's the biggest innovation and game changer, it's the
Coming
future of play.
worldwide.
they
It's
com
kind of hard to say
Worldwide.
that and be like, but also like 90% of the country, I mean, of the world's
Mm.
children, like, nah, y'all don't get an innovator game
Yeah,
well,
it's
changer.
and
like we don't have full confidence in it, so we're only releasing it in 6. But it's
they
the best thing ever. Pick it up, like.
they put it on par with being as significant to the Lego system as the minifigure. Like they were like, we never had minifigures before the 1970s, and this is the next thing. This is the next iteration after the minifigure of changing play. And I wonder. I don't think they're limiting it because they're trying it out and they're seeing are people going to like it or not. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case with how long they've been working on this. I mean, shoot, they rented out that big giant dome
The
thing in
sphere
Las
in Vegas,
Vegas.
yeah,
Like they are all for good or for bad, they are all in on
all in.
this.
Mhm.
I don't think that the selection of those 6 countries, which
Let's talk about the six
Poland,
countries specifically.
Poland
So
is one of them.
Poland is close to one of their like biggest manufacturing bases, like between Hungary and the Czech Republic,
But
like
you
and
know
Denmark.
who
Like,
doesn't get this? Canada.
you know who doesn't get this? Most of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
no East Asian market is getting this, which I think is crazy. It's exclusively available to the Western world. And so it's just the United States, the UK, Poland, Germany, France, Australia. Notably missing is China. Notably missing is Japan. And we were talking about
Mhm.
amongst the team members, like if we want to talk about, we don't know anything for sure yet, but we do know that Lego Pokemon is going to be coming soon. And let's say they want to release like smart bricks for Lego Pokemon. Like, does that mean Japan is not going to have like access to the Lego
To some
Pokemon
of the
smart bricks?
Pokemon
Like,
sets
it's
or the
just,
entire theme.
So
it's
let's
interesting.
play devil's advocate for just for the sake of discussion. Why what do you think would be Lego's rationale for just doing the 6 countries? Like what would be plausible? Like what do you think they could be thinking? Did Mario, I don't remember Mario but also people weren't clamoring for it. I don't remember Mario having a limited release option. The Spike, I think, if I remember right, had a limited release option, but it rolled out over a period of months.
Is it possible that, I mean, Lego did a really good job with keeping the information on this very tight before the reveal?
Hmm.
It's so wild to me that they then like had such control and then completely flopped the actual reveal of it all. But up until that point, like there was very little information that we knew about this that even
Hmm.
like before. And so it's possible that Lego, as soon as this was like manufactured in sets, ready to go, they just want to like get it to countries and release it as fast as
Hmm.
possible with the plan of just within the year releasing it worldwide. But it is weird to me that there is no specific plan for that. And it's like TBD if anyone
Okay,
else.
so that makes sense to some offhand comments they said in that hour-long call, because they did mention that they worked extensively with their production and their like the set, like when the set leaves the Lego warehouse, like they said that they worked extensively with that to iron out problems. I'm wondering if part of it was keeping it secret, keep it safe, pull a Gandalf. I wonder if part of it was no, but that doesn't make sense. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, just logistically, we have to be realistic. Like, Lego can make their bricks in-house, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of electric components in here that have not been part of previous things. So
Mhm.
I know they're using at least one external company that's really heavily involved in the production of those components in the smart brick. So just thinking about them having to work with other companies,
Mhm.
logistically, I can see like they might not have the ability to launch this worldwide and produce it
Mhm.
for every market. I mean, that doesn't change my opinion of why didn't they tell us this from the start? Why is it only these specific 6 countries? But I do think logistically there are reasons why they are not able to make this a worldwide launch right away.
Do you think, as I've seen some people say, this is part of their plan to make people feel that scarcity and like I didn't get a chance to, so that when it shows up in their country, they're excited to buy it. Do you? I've seen a bunch of people comment that. Do you think that's possibly going on here?
Maybe that feels like a stretch to me though.
I think it's I
I
think
think
it's
it's
more
more logistic.
logistics.
I think it's more
Yeah.
logistic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm hopeful that this will only be for the first 6 months.
mhm.
That given time, it will be available worldwide. I think, maybe they want to just test out if it does have any bugs when it's being mass manufactured, that kind of thing, hence collecting the play data. So we'll see. I think if it stays exclusive to 6 countries for like a year and for all of these releases,
Bad.
ooh, no. But I would assume at some point it will be opened up. Um,
How
yeah.
long do you think it'll be before non-Star Wars sets hit the shelves?
Soon. I think within like 3 months. I think by end of summer.
So these okay,
Summer wave sets will have
so
them.
this is because these release March 1st. So do you think June 1st, the next major wave? Because like Lego has three main release seasons, January, March, and June. Like those are the three big ones.
Well, we know there will
So
be smart tags and smart minifigs in future Star Wars sets already.
Hmm.
So we know they have at least another wave of those coming. But like in terms of going to a different theme,
Hmm.
um, like I would love. I'm not gonna say I would love, but to me, I would predict fall 2026. I don't know that it's gonna hit summer.
Wow. So like 6 months from now.
Yeah, that
Not
I
6 months from now.
well,
Six
6 months
months
from
from the
release.
launch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I agree with Evan. I think it'll be quicker. I think they've invested a lot of money into this. I don't think it's going to be something they're trying out, and if it doesn't do well, it will disappear. I think it's good. This is like we're going to see this for at least the next 3 years. Just thinking how far
Hmm.
in advance they plan their releases. So
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with Evan that I think we'll get another theme in 3 months, maybe less.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe by summer that'd be interesting. Did they tell you, Alex, or you, Bethany, because they showed like parts of the Cantina set, I believe, right?
Hmm.
Like not the full thing. I wasn't like specific, like this is not actually the full set,
Hmm.
uh, which was also kind of interesting to me. But is that coming in March or is that coming in later, or do we not know?
No specific information has been given. Lego has made it clear that these are the three sets that
Okay.
it's releasing in. So March 1st, these are your three.
Sorry, just like brief note on the Cantina, just because I meant to bring it up before, but the functions of the smart brick I do think can be really cool, but like the worst example that I saw was when they like put it in the cantina like thing to like shake it side to side to have like the little cantina band make music, and you can only hear the sounds of the brick as you like move it side to side. Like you can't even hear the music. The mechanism overtakes the whole sound. So I'm like,
I actually love the idea of the cantina set just because to me it's still like one of the most violent, brutal scenes in the original trilogy. I'm like, first you get Ponda Baba's arm sliced off with screaming, and then you get Greedo, well, I mean, depending on which version you shot, you get Greedo being shot. And I'm like, this is like such a violent scene. So I would be all in if like the tiles in there are just violent, awful screams.
Yeah.
Arms breaking off, yeah, people
Exactly.
getting shot. Like,
No
gosh.
droids, like
So
all the worst stuff.
for those who haven't seen the demo, what they showed us was basically if you imagine a smart brick sitting on a little pendulum and you move that little pendulum left and right, and based on the speed at which you whip the pendulum around, it will change the speed of the music. So you could, and they don't play the classic Star Wars song, but imagine,
Well, it's
do,
different for each character.
oh, we didn't even
what?
mention that the
Yes.
sounds are
Well, I did.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought this maybe is a good time to talk smart minifigures because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit underwhelmed by smart minifigures, if I'm being completely honest. Like
They
when
have a
at first I heard the Lego Mumble, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's very classic. Like, I remember those Star Wars games, Lego Star Wars games. Love the Mumble. But since hearing the Mumble sounds, I think they sound awful because I can't get anything from Luke going "Mew, mew, mew, mew." Like what emotion is that? What is he doing? Like apparently he's talking with R2-D2. Like or apparently him and Darth Vader are having a conversation whilst dueling. Like it makes I don't like the sounds they're
Well,
No,
and
making.
it would
some
be
of
so much
them,
more cool if you like put it by Luke, then you put it by R2, and the sounds they make are actually like with those two characters having a
Voice lines,
conversation
right?
with each
You'd think
other.
iconic voice lines like
Mhm.
I'm
though,
your father.
if they're not pre-recorded bits, is that what would prevent this kind of thing?
I
I,
think
I
it's
I
a
still,
think
I'm
I think
still
it's a
trying
it
to
synth
wrap
is
my head around
technology.
that.
I think it's a
Yeah.
synthesizer. I don't think the synthesizer can make those sounds.
No, that's the thing. I don't think it
Uh,
can, and I think I did hear someone say like the sound, the size of the file for a voice line is significantly higher than if it's just making it. So it's like
Mhm.
it might not technically be possible, maybe, but I don't know. It was underwhelming for me honestly when I was using it. The only thing I think when the smart brick does touch it and it plays stuff like the cantina sounds, like then it can have a bit more potential. But I was not a fan of the mumbling, even though initially I was like,
Someone on
this is
one of our
cool.
posts also made a great point that was like, because you mentioned like, oh, the mumble from the Star Wars games, but like the target audience for this it does not have the nostalgia for these Star Wars games. Like the kids who are going
Yeah.
to be playing with this, the mumble won't make sense to them because they
Nope.
didn't,
Yeah.
play these.
I want to address that the torso and the legs are forever joined with Craggle and that they have a trash can in
The
their
trash can's
armpit.
hilarious.
They have a trash can print in their armpit.
I
We
don't
do we
mind.
have confirmation that the heads are removable? Is it just the torso and the legs, or do we know?
We don't know actually, and I didn't test. I should have just like tried to
Yeah,
rip one
seriously, there's
apart in the
like
demo.
I'd be
keychain.
like,
But
Yeah,
no,
just start ripping
no,
it.
I got like pictures of the sides, and they've got stuff on both sides of the minifigures under the arms if you lift the arms up. I don't mind that to be honest,
no. Really?
hugely, because
You need to be able
we've
to
got
tell
if
that.
it was exclusive characters, then maybe I would, but we've got
Okay.
all of those characters before. The thing that made me laugh was Darth Vader's cape is like half the length it should be. Has anyone else seen that?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll pull this
It's
up.
It's so
like,
that
I
like
why?
back
I
to
think
it.
it's because of the way they're
Oh,
put
to
together in the
cover or
factory.
to.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
No, no,
No, I
no. I'm
think
pretty
it's
sure
just.
it's because you want to be able to position Darth Vader on the little thing to like attack and like sitting in the TIE fighter so that it can like comfortably sit
Yes,
and
I don't
stand so
know.
the carpet can be behind
Just
that and
looks.
prevent.
So,
My
do you
God,
think
wait a second. Evan, I just realized
What?
Lego is literally coming for you.
What do you
If
mean?
if these figures can't be disassembled, they are proving that Vader was not unmasked in the throne room.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
Vader literally does not have Anakin's face underneath.
wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Okay.
So, do Do you think that they should have done this where they wear like one of those neck things and then you put a smart tile on their back?
I was
Do you know
thinking
what
the
I'm talking
same
about?
thing. I was thinking the same thing, Bethany. Like what they did with R2, kind of, because they completely changed the R2 mold. But
Yeah.
like where it's, I like that idea almost better because then you could have the minifigure look the same. Or if they're going to mumble anyways, like just have the actual smart tag be like the tile and have it be like a neck bracket thing, and then you put
Hmm.
it on the back. That
Hmm.
makes more sense to me, I think.
I
It
think
sounds
that would look
also
even more goofy though. I don't like how R2 looks with a 2x2. So just imagine a minifigure with a 2x2 on its
Well,
back.
that's true because the
And then
minifigure is that triangle shape, so it would stick out. Oh, I know why they didn't do it because when you move their arms, they'd pop the tile off.
Mm,
that's
that's fair.
right,
Mm,
that's fair. Yeah.
well, I'm
Well,
not. I'm excited for the possibilities of the smart tags. I could, I'm, I could leave the smart figs like
Yeah, I agree with
it,
that.
they're fine, but they're not. I'm not excited about them. I'm more excited about the potential of what smart tags can do, especially like with the lights. I think the lights could do some really cool things.
hmm.
But
Can
But if the
we
light is
talk?
just limited to the brick, I guess you have to like.
yes.
I would actually be really interested to see how an AFOL within their mock can position the brick or
Hmm.
bricks so that like the lights come in the exact spot that you want it to be like accurate
Hmm.
to depicting. That'd be
Yeah.
really.
I think there's some really fun potentials with those lights.
We can make technique posts on how to like properly hide the smart brick within your set and like how much allowance you need. Like that could be
Yeah.
really interesting for us.
I wonder too, like what again, how much can you stack on top of it for it to be able to read? But like if you put different colors of tiles, like trans colored tiles on top, what could you get? Like I'm excited for that. I just again, the price point hurts my
And also,
soul.
just like one thing to say about that is with the price point and the amount of money they spent, I think we'd be remiss not to just like note as an aside that like they spent a lot of money on this release is
Hmm.
very clear just with the
Yeah.
event at the sphere in general and like taking over the sphere is an enormous cost
Hmm.
and just the cost also of actually releasing all these components which is great they're a big
Hmm.
company they can spend that money but this also comes on the tail of their like daughter company Bricklink just banning 35 countries
Hmm.
and not supporting those stores anymore due to apparently like the cost and the logistics of it, it seems. And so it just like feels extra icky to me, especially when you're only releasing this in those six countries. It feels very much like Lego
Hmm.
is trying to get really like exclusive and super like westernized. And like that just doesn't sit right. Like it's
It is weird that they didn't pick their own country
oh
as
yeah.
one of the
Denmark.
options. I mean, Denmark is not on the list. But yeah, the first thing I thought of when I heard in these six countries, the immediate first thing I thought was the Bricklink fiasco. And I don't know. You're right. It's an absolute fumble.
And I mean, part of this massive marketing campaign, I am still, I mean, we've talked about the messaging and like a lot of the questions that were left, but I still am just trying to grasp who the audience is.
Mm,
Like, are they trying to get people who don't currently play with Lego? Are they trying to get 3-year-olds who apparently are going to give up on Lego because it doesn't make sound? But like, so much of the messaging, and we've talked about this within the team as well,
hmm.
feels like investor pitch and feels like it's for audiences like tech audiences, like audiences who are not the ones getting in the play. And that's, I think, part of my issue with everything is like I still just don't understand. Like who is asking for this when they keep saying the future of Lego play, like revolutionary? I'm like, parents love Lego because it's when
Hmm.
kids aren't playing with screens. It's a quiet thing. It's a creative thing. So like who I just still can't wrap my head around like the who and the why behind everything here.
Mm, yeah.
Well, I think our contributor Rob, he also took a big issue with like I think this is a really interesting point. I'm gonna try to summarize his point more succinctly. But he very eloquently sent to us in the chat how a lot of companies like Apple, for instance, when they release the iPhone, they first introduce the why aspect of it, why they are doing this, and they make you interested then in the how and then the what. And so it's not as important that the smart brick exists. It's the fact that smart play exists. And what is smart play? What's the potentials of smart play? And instead, when you do a Google search for smart play, even smart brick is still the first thing that shows up. Like everyone is talking about the smart brick. No, people are talking about smart play, but it's such a divided, like such a small ratio of discussion around the actual smart play of it all, which is really the interesting, cool part of it. Like they actually do have something here that has so much potential, could be really, really cool. And we might be looking back on this in 10 years and be like, oh my God, remember when we were just like these old farts, like talking about the smart brick? And like now it really is like
Oh
the
no.
mini figure doesn't even exist anymore because the smart
Yeah.
brick took us to a higher level of consciousness. Like
Oh.
who knows?
Yeah.
But they really fumbled, I think, on in this spread of information, not giving us enough of the why, and not maybe not even not giving us enough of it, not prioritizing that in their message to
Yeah.
where, like just telling us, like Bethany said at the very beginning of this podcast, that telling us this is going to revolutionize everything. When that is the first thing that you hear, you're
Yeah.
like, what?
hmm
Like your expectation is so high, and then you're just let down.
Why? Like, we love Lego. Why does it need to be revolutionized? Like, this isn't what we're asking for. I don't, yeah.
I think the approach they've tried to take is to like spread the word as far and wide as possible, which I think like
mission
we've said
accomplished.
yeah, right? Like we all have said like it's flopped, it's fumbled. If that's the aim they were going for, it's been everywhere in the news, right? A lot of people have heard about it. And I slightly get what they're saying about people know what Star Wars is, they know Duels, they like that is quite easy to put two and two together in that sense. But I do agree that yeah, the wider why has been slightly flopped. But maybe they're planning to yeah in future releases like actually explain it better, and they just wanted to go for maximum impact
I don't
in this
know.
first release.
True. That's
Lego
fair.
has not done a good job of explaining how their robotics work. Like their methodology for the robotics is to throw you into a swimming pool and then be like, you'll swim, don't worry. You know, try moving your arms and it'll happen. Like as a teacher who had to teach with Lego robotics, I assumed I would open it up and it would explain everything I needed to know. And it was all learned through experience. Now they did say that in the instructions, they're going to, show you to demonstrate all the movements and the possibilities. But I don't know that they're going to explain it any better. I think they're going to just hope people are willing to try it and the court of public opinion. I don't think there's going to be another big push of here's how smart play works. I don't know. I mean,
True.
we might be surprised. There could be a Super Bowl ad coming in February. Would not be surprised. But I don't know.
Well, talking about how like the general audience thinks about it, we can at least talk about how our audience thinks about it because we did an Instagram poll. Basically, the question that we asked was just very general. We just said, how do you feel about the new smart brick? Do you feel positive? Do you feel neutral? Do you feel negative?
Okay, so at 49%, the most common response, what answer do we think we've got?
I'd say neutral is the biggest group, would be my guess.
That is correct. 49% neutral, which
that's a fantastic
I'm a bit
number.
Surprised, but I think it's because we don't really know. Like people are waiting to see how it's going to play out, right, before forming their opinion, which is interesting. So then we've got 36% negative and 15% positive. So it is leaning more towards the negative end for our adult audience.
So 1/3 negative, half neutral, and then the rest.
And that was on around, doing some quick maths here, around 1,500 votes from our audience.
So give us the numbers one more time.
So neutral, 49%.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say amazing. I would.
But it's not.
I think
but it's not negative. Like it's not negative.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
not
but
positive.
not negative is not amazing.
No.
But given the typed vitriol we have seen in posts, I feel like that is a much better number than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I think our audience is also pretty mature. Like for the most part, like I think that if you polled like the wider Lego audience, it might skew different. I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep that. Never mind.
So just to read those off final time, 49% neutral, 36% negative, 15% positive. And whilst we're talking about stats, I gave my score of 10 out of 25. Bethany had 9 out of 25. but 17 out of 25 potential.
Mhm.
Evan Clay, I don't think we heard your scores, did we?
We didn't.
So let's have them.
So I was actually talking to my boyfriend about this yesterday, about if we were to receive any sets with the smart brick, just how we would actually rate those sets, and how does the smart brick come into play with the price, with the functions, how it affects the aesthetics of the sets, how it
Mhm.
potentially affects the techniques of the sets, and specifically with our part selection, how do we deal with a set that includes the smart brick? Because obviously, including the smart brick, that is the new mold, new part of this, honestly, of the decade. And so it's interesting to think about, how do we compare that when you also have to factor in the function and the price and the accessibility of it? And so
Mhm.
does that give it a high part score? Do we criticize and give it like a low part score? Does that maybe more affect the value of the money? Like it, I'm a little bit up in the air of this.
Mhm.
Right now, I definitely lean negative towards the smart brick. I definitely want to see the potential. I'm kind of more on Bethany's side here, but right now, just the smart brick out of 25, I'm gonna give it like a 6. I don't, I'm just not that impressed. Here's the thing. I haven't even said this at all.
6.
The technology feels a little dated to me. It feels like a dated technology, especially when you hear the sounds that come out of it. The sounds feel very archaic, and
Mhm.
the actual like response time of it, like you're telling me that a kid, I mean, this is sad, but you're telling me that a kid is gonna see like YouTube, see an iPhone, or see the smart brick, and they're gonna pick up the smart brick. Like, no, they're gonna pick up the iPhone and start watching YouTube and play Roblox. Like,
That's a great point.
I
I
want
mean,
I want the smart brick to be like a really cool thing. And like Bethany said, if the smart brick ends up being like, heck, if the smart brick ends up being an over like 20 out of 25, like I will actually be really, really happy about that. I want to see it succeed. But
mhm.
right now, I'm gonna have to give it a 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like all the positive is the potential.
Mhm.
Lego is about customization, and like that's what everyone keeps asking. And even like I think one of my ideas was like push it to a slightly older audience, get them into coding, getting them into programming. Like I know we're
Mhm.
trying to pull them away from the app, and that to me is like where there's conflicting messages of Lego customization, like what we could do with it. And I don't just mean we, I mean also kids. Like they're gonna
Mhm.
be way more excited to be able to create custom sounds than just
Mhm.
be limited. So like all of my positive feelings are pretty much in the potential of what could be
Mm.
versus where we are now. Um, do I really have to give a score?
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
have
say
to.
okay. I'll say display value. That's got to be a 0 out of 5.
What?
Um,
I think this play's kind of cool, actually. It
I'll
looks
Oh,
give
like
it okay. I'll give it
futuristic.
1 for display. I'll give it 1 for display.
Wow.
uh,
I'm gonna say minifigures got to be a 0 because of the fact that we can't even defuse them. And then like if you think about Vader's tie, like the other minifigure, if it's a real one, like it's not a smart one, like oh cool, you can like mix and match minifigs. You can't do that if Vader's all fused together anyway.
Mm.
So what am I at? 0? No, I said 1 for display.
Mhm.
Value for money's got to be a 0, girl. Um,
Really?
techniques,
Oh man.
techniques. I'm all
Make that the function of it.
for what techniques?
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
about to be a 1 out of 25, guys.
I was gonna
That
give
is really our
techniques a
harshest
2. I'm
reviewer
gonna be
ever.
really generous. 2. What am I up to now? 4.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and parts. Parts is good though. So I'll give parts like everything you said, Evan. We'll say oh 3. Yeah. 4. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
8 out
And
of
that is how
10.
much
8 out of
thought
8
goes
out
into
of
our
10.
reviews, guys. We
And
just
I
kind
will
of go,
also say though, the
I do
the
like that you
feeling
broke it down
versus
by our category,
no,
though.
very good.
Yeah.
I was trying to like really think of it because it like my knee-jerk reaction like 3, but I was like, there's got to be some value somewhere in some of these places.
I have hope that it's going to do some amazing things. We
Yeah.
just have to help. We just have to hope that it will roll out quickly enough that its bad knee-jerk whiplash reaction won't overwhelm the awesomeness that it can contain.
Mhm. And here's the thing, we still have like basically a month and a half until it is actually going to be in the public's hands. And a month and a half can subside a lot of that anger, and it could
Hmm.
build a lot of anticipation. So I can see
Yeah.
that like the initial, it's possible that Lego honestly kind of expected this initial like pushback from it. And You know, it might in like 2 months from now, people might be loving the smart brick already. But
I mean, I'm open to seeing AFOLs get their hands on it and
me
see if
too.
there's something they can do with the smart tags that exist. Like, I'm open to it, but with what we have seen now, like that's what I'm just like the current state, as it has been presented to us, is where I have like no hope.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God, I just thought that you could like hide a smart minifigure inside of Gizmo, and so with the smart brick, you can make Gizmo go like.
I mean, the possibilities are there.
you know what? You could also, Evan, just get your gizmo and hold it and go burr, burr.
That is
Save
the
yourself
ultimate.
$60 with that one.
Yeah, if you don't want to watch this whole podcast episode, just listen to that one sentence, and that kind of
Yeah.
What a summary.
feeling.
Make your own
That will be the
sounds.
real one. Yes, it's going to be our 10-second reel.
Mhm.
I think the title should probably be Save Money, Make Your Own Bebop Sounds. There you go.
Okay, while we're talking about making sounds, like I have just been all in on the refueling because it has been one of the things that they keep promoting. Like, ooh, refueling noises, which to me is the most absolute unhinged thing that a child would be excited about this. So I love it so much that I've now leaned into it. So can we at least like I need to hear what a refueling noise is
What do you think?
in y'all's parts of the world.
It's a good thing we've got really good quality microphones for this, isn't it? So you get our best ones possible.
Wait, Alex, you've heard the refueling noise. Can you give us a demonstration?
Gosh, I don't think No, I'll just do my best effort. Something like a.
It's a jug. It's a glugging jug. That glug,
Right?
glug, glug.
That's what I think.
But I think it's the
refueling is
fuel
like.
goes in, or maybe it's an electrical sound, right? Maybe it's like a. Who knows? Like,
You know, one of the press release photos from Vader's TIE Fighter literally has him standing on the back of the TIE Fighter holding the refueling thing.
yeah. Okay.
Glug 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 sound. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Wow.
Evan, let's hear yours.
I mean, I think it's just the glug glug glug.
No, come on. Guys, you can't just make me do the sound and then.
Oh, yes, we can. Well, thank you for joining us for this special episode.
Oh, wow. Okay, thanks.
Do you have anything else to touch on? I mean, I think we kind of covered
I
it.
did have one other sound. So, as I said before, like color sensor, right? The
Mhm.
balloon, the refueling, we all love. That's like a balloon nozzle which connects. It doesn't have a smart tag. It just recognizes blue and it goes, I'm getting refueled now.
Blub, blub, blub.
What? That's
Glug.
like four core sounds. Like the smart brick has 4 core sounds, like red, blue, yellow.
Well.
One is refueling.
Wait.
But also, there's in the X-Wing, I don't know if anyone saw this, there is a green Thor's hammer. Did anyone see this?
No.
There's
Yeah,
a Thor's
I did,
hammer
and
that's
I
been
was really
recolored to green,
confused.
which seems random, right? It's because when it recognizes the green, you're doing repairs. So, Bethany, give us your best repair sound.
Oh boy. It's probably going to be like gank, 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 gank as you're hitting
That's a good
something.
one. That's a good one. Now I'm trying to find this green. What is that called?
Breathe, Clay.
Okay,
Breathe,
so,
Clay.
so green is repair, blue is refuel. What are these other standard
Oh, we
colors?
know what red was. We know what red is because they showed us in the demo. Like it goes,
And?
Is
it
the
makes,
trigger?
yeah, it makes the pew pew sounds that aren't Star Wars sounds that just,
Pew Pew is
What
good.
does
I
the
like
yellow
Pew
do
Pew.
then?
but they don't do pew pew.
Why not?
The more we talk about this, the madder I get.
Did
I
you
have to
did
get
you
on this
not
call.
read? Did you not see the thing? They don't make the Star Wars sounds. They worked with Lucasfilm, but they don't make the Star Wars sounds. They don't have the
Pew. I mean, okay, maybe this is my like hot take. It's just like it doesn't need to make the exact sound that ship is making.
It's
like
iconic sound, Evan. Come on, call yourself
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan. Like it goes.
I-
pew, 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 pew.
engines.
I feel like that's what the smart tag is for, though, for the iconic sound. Like for the generic sound should just be a pew pew.
No. But what we're talking about, Evan, is that if the smart brick is on an X-wing tag, it just makes It just makes a generic like pew pew noise.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Whereas they could have made that specific.
That's bad.
So we know that red is the firing sound, but it's for that tag because a different tag can have different color
Yes.
codings.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Now
We
this
don't
means
know
it
what
has
the yellow one Does so,
optical sensor, right? This means that it has a little tiny camera visualizer.
What?
Oh no!
There's a camera? Wait,
No,
what do you-
no. There's not a camera. Not misinformation. but I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I'll go ask my husband.
Anyone
when
know
this
what a
gets-
color sensor?
Oh, you mean how it
actually is?
identifies the color?
Yeah.
No, of course, it has to have some sort of visual recognizing technology.
I'm just looking at Clay's face right now. Clay looks like
So
he's
bad.
about to cry.
Oh, so it's kind of like a Mario, where like Mario you can put over something
Yes.
that's yellow and it'll
Yes. Okay, I've seen it. This is an optical sensor. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know
Like camera. Yeah,
this
it's like a-
stuff.
That's not sketchy. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Let's roll into the outro, guys. We could talk about this all day.
We could.
Let's go.
Thank you for everyone who's made it this far, by the way. You are the true Lego AFL. We appreciate you. Well, this time I will wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this special Smart Play, Smart Brick, Smart Tag, Smart Figure, Clay, hang in there episode. We hope that you
I'm
enjoyed
literally
this.
crying. It got to the point where I had little tears. I don't even know why. I was just looking at these images from the X-Wing, and there's
You're crying.
why do they have so much for refueling? Why?
We want your feedback. No, we don't.
Oh, breathe.
And if you would like someone else take it.
Cut, and we will come back when we're.
No, I think we should keep this in.
Just keep it
we would
Okay,
give
here
us
we
some
go.
feedback if you want to see more of this type of like news video from us. If you want to see Clay dying on camera more often, basically.
I'm quitting Tips and Bricks. I'm quitting Lego. Dark
Don't
Ages
quit
2.0.
Lego. There's endless possibilities to be had.
Alex, in our script, you're supposed to say the next part.
I'm crying too much.
Okay.
Be sure to tune into. I've got the giggles. Evan, take us out, please.
Okay. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. Until then, the conversation, you can join us on Tips and Bricks on Instagram and YouTube, and you can also join us on Patreon. And if you enjoyed today's episode, we would also love for you to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Leaving us a review, it really helps listeners like you find us. So until next time, I'm Evan with Alex and Clay and Bethany signing off. Hopefully we're still alive by next episode. Happy building.
Hi, everybody.